Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Widgets and Wonders. This is my show about great products from small companies. Now today we're going to take a look at some new neoprene gaming mats from GameMat.eu. We've got two new offerings. The first one is called Forgotten Realms. No, not the Forgotten Realms of Ed Greenwood and TSR ages ago. Those are my fantasy books when I was a kid. Man, Elminster takes me back. The Harpers, Baldur's Gate, yeah. I'm free associating now. It's a great cobblestone mat with some like sparse grass and scrub on it. Perfect for Medieval Village, perfect for probably games like Mordheim if you wanted to play Malifaux on it. You can do everything from Victoriana through probably to Cold War games too if you want to do some stuff set in Eastern Europe or even just Europe in general in the Second World War or First World War. These would be great mats. And the other one is called Deathworld Forge. Now this one's really neat because it's got some pedigree that I think is really interesting. The graphic was actually laid out and designed by a former Halo concept artist, which I think is super neat. And as soon as you see it, like as soon as I heard that and I saw it, I was like, it makes complete sense. Because the tech bits on it have that kind of like, that industrial tech look that you think of when you think of Halo. So whenever I think of the UNSC, sorry, from Halo, when you see the techie bits in this mat, it's gonna totally pop in your brain. So anyway, we'll start with Forgotten Realms. We'll show you those. I got three mats to show you today from that. There's a 3-foot one, which would be perfect for Malifaux or probably Relic Blade's gonna be perfect on that. I can play Bushido on it because Bushido is 24 by 24, but you can just fudge your deployment zones. There'll be a bunch of different games that should be great with that one. A 4x4 for playing things like Mordheim on. War Machine's gonna look great on that game. I could actually probably play even, and actually the 3x3 would be perfect for Guild Ball too. The 4x4 will be perfect for any kind of skirmish game that is 4x4. And even Age of Sigmar actually, would be perfect on that one. And then a 6x4, which of course is perfect for anything you want to play because it's 6x4, so it's big and huge and spacious. But Age of Sigmar of course pops to mind, Warhammer Fantasy Battle, 9th Age, and Kings of War. So let's look at that first, and then we'll look at the Deathworld Forge. So here are three Forgotten Realms mats. Here first we have the 3x3 one. It has a good mix of the dirt, the grass, and the cobblestones, so you could clearly put buildings here. And one thing I do kind of like about it, it's not a grid. A lot of the mats I have with roads on them tend to be straight lines, and I've said this about other mats in the past that do the same trick, is when it's curved and has odd angles on it and they're not universally the same size, it looks a little more natural. Because when they were building cobblestone roads, they were building them based on like the curves of the land and not necessarily with the civic planning that you would think roads are going to be built with. So this is the 3x3 right here. I'm going to roll it up and get it out of the way. And that way, these do come with carrying bags too, actually, which, you know what, this is actually a good opportunity for me to show you. The 3x3 one is actually a little skinnier than 3x3 ones that I've seen in the past, which is kind of cool because I found some of the 3x3 ones, they're meant for, the gauge of them is meant for like a wider mat, and so these mats kind of disappear in them, but this one's like a nice snug, perfect fit. Whoop, like that. So this is this case for the 3x3 one. It's got a carry bag, which is pretty common these days. So much so though, but the one shows up without a carry bag. I find it weird, so I do like to note that they come with these. Then we have our 4x4, which is this guy right here. It is basically, I don't know if it's chopped the same pattern or not. I'm trying to see where the pattern from the 3x3 would be on this. I don't think it is. I think it's actually either a bigger pattern or a different pattern. I think they actually might all be unique. But again, the roads aren't in straight lines. They don't bisect in a straight line. It's like a big H here. And perfect for War Machine. It's gonna be perfect for Age of Sigmar as well. Realm of Life, or any of the sort of like civilized realms. You could even almost see this being somewhere inside a castle. Like, this isn't a terrible interior to a city or a castle, because once these are covered in buildings, so like for instance, if I throw a couple of my Mordheim buildings down on this, the grass is going to start to disappear, you can see, and you're just going to kind of see the roads, whoop, and it's going to give you a sort of a nice city look like that. So I guess it's going to be great for all my skirmish games that are on 4x4s. And then we'll roll this one up and get it out of the way, and you can check out this 6x4. And again, I think I'll be able to identify this time that there is actually the same design. Yeah, it's just, it's rotated actually from the way I have it laid out. But the same design will be on this one. Whoop. And you've got sort of like the center of town here in the middle. And so here's like your town center, and then the road's just going around it, which I think is kind of cool. And yeah, like I said earlier, no grids, so not straight lines, nice curves. The detail's really nice. I'm gonna zoom in for you on this one so you can see the detail. It's nice and crisp, especially when you get to the rocks and stuff in here. So the details held up really well on the rocks. It's not too pixelized or too faded out. And the same with the grasses as well. Detail's rather nice. And we'll zoom back out. You can see this covers my 6x4 table nicely. Now I noticed that, I don't know if this is true because these could just be samples. The 6x4 has rounded edges. The 4x4, so I don't know if you like that or not, but it's just something worth noting. The 6x4 has rounded edges. The 4x4 and the 3x3 I think do. They're not rounded. So something you might have noticed when you get your own. And there it is, there's the Forgotten Realms. So I'll be definitely playing Kings of War on this, Ninth Age, Age of Sigmar, and any of the games where I want to be playing in a medieval modern setting. It's great, doesn't have a lot of big signifying details on it too. The rocks are fairly large though, so I think 28 mil scale is probably pretty fixed for this one. Because otherwise these rocks are, the rocks on these roads would be huge. You wouldn't want to do 15 mil because these rocks would be like 4 or 5 feet across if that was the case. I think this one's pretty rooted in 20 to 25 millimeter, or 25 to 30 millimeter probably. And it'll look perfect in any of those scales. So let's take a pause. I'll take this off and you can check out the Deathworld Forge. And so here we have the Deathworld Forge. So this one right here, definitely gonna be cool for 40K. I'm actually really excited to use it for Infinity. I'm gonna mask off 2 feet of it and use it for Infinity with my Onyx Contact Force. And once you hear that this is a Halo concept artist, you can really see it in the details. Like this like green piping that goes along this sort of like, I don't know if it's crash or it's just kind of platforms. This kind of has the look of whatever that planet was called that Anakin and Luke fight on. No, Anakin and Obi-Wan fight on at the end of episode 3. It kind of reminds me of that, the big lava planet. Well, the lava's just not like everywhere. Like there's still tons of just sort of like volcanic rock exposed. So you don't feel like you're walking through dangerous terrain all the time, but it's present. Like it's clearly like a feature on this planet that it's volcanic and molten and stuff, and that someone's basically teched this up and put through a bunch of things to like harness it or try and make the place habitable. And yeah, I really like it. It's super unique. It's really different from any of the lava mats I've seen so far. It's very much like, I could play Horus Heresy in this for sure. Like it has kind of like that higher tech feel. And actually one of the things I'm really excited to play in this too is Dark Age. Like this is where the Firecast hang out, I'm pretty sure, on the ruins of technology. I'm sure there's some human settlements there that the Firecast are gonna look pretty dope on. So we'll be playing some Dark Age games on this too. They've done a set of industrial terrain and it comes pre-painted. I have it unpainted. You'll see that next week in another Widgets and Wonders. That's gonna look quite cool on this. And I'm actually gonna paint it to match this, specifically so I can use it for Horus Heresy and Dark Age. And it'll have this kind of like, it used to be slick, now it's kind of post-apocalyptic vibe to it, I think, which is gonna look pretty awesome. And yeah, so this one right here, I mean, it's a very specialized mat, obviously. It's not a generic mat. You've got to have a definite theme in mind when you play with this. My theme is gonna be like Lost Colony, you know, some kind of lost mining thing. I've got a Dead Space thing in my head. And just looking at it right now makes me wish that there was like a 28 mil Halo game. Although I'm trying to talk Owen into painting his enforcers for Dead Zone like Spartans, so if he hasn't done that yet, go bother him on his channel. I think that's a cool idea. And yeah, and then I'm gonna paint all my, well, I've already painted all of my plague-like guys from Dead Space and or The Flood, which is pretty rad. So yeah, so I think this one's really cool. It is limited edition though, so I think when it sells through, it's gone. So if you do want to grab one, head over to GameMat.eu. There'll be a link in the video description below and check it out, because this one I think is a single run, because it is highly specialized. I don't think they're going to keep it in their range forever. And it's been done by a fairly decorated artist who worked in the Halo games. So very cool, very neat. Thanks so much to you guys for sending it over so we could check it out and so you guys could check it out. Okay, so there you have this week's Widgets and Wonders, new mats from GameMat.eu. So now if you know of a great product from a small company that you think deserves more attention, you can have them email me at guerrillaminiaturegames@gmail.com or Facebook message me at facebook.com/outofthebasement into the streets, and I'll do my best to show them to the world. It's a really brave thing to make something stick out there for sale and kind of like risk your pride. So I think it deserves all the attention it can get. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Till then, I'm Ash. Have a good game.